Tonight, we're taking a closer look at foodborne illnesses. Just yesterday, we talked about an E. coli outbreak involving several local cheese products. The recall from Twin Sisters Creamery is based in Whatcom County. The unpasteurized aged cheese recalled are listed on your screen there. So far, 3 people have been sickened by E. coli linked to those products, 2 of them in Washington. I spoke with a legal expert who shared his insight on the food safety system. I'm joined by food safety attorney Bill Marler now. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Good to see you.
So, Bill, is it just me, first of all, that every other day on the news, I feel like I'm reporting about some type of foodborne illness outbreak? Is it actually that we're having more cases, or is it something else here? Is it just perception?
Yeah, you know, it may be a little of both. And it also, what's been going on over the last several months, it's pretty confusing. You know, we have about 48 million foodborne illness cases in the United States every year, about 125,000 hospitalized, about 3,000 to 4,000 deaths. So those numbers haven't changed really much in the last decade and a half. You know, what has happened is we've gotten better at the technology of connecting up the dots. And so, you know, in this cheese outbreak, the E. coli 0103, which is a real rare form of this pathogenic E. coli, we know that those 3 people are connected, not only because they ate the cheese, but the E. coli that was found in them is a genetic match to each other and a genetic match to the cheese that was found as well. So we know that there's a connection. Because of that technology, outbreaks are being figured out faster, and they're smaller, which is good, because less people getting sick. So in part, I think the reason why you're hearing about them a lot, maybe less in the last several months, or certainly the last 4 or 5 weeks, but you know, we are seeing, you know, more outbreaks, but they're smaller, which, and frankly, is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. And when you're talking about the cheese outbreak, you're talking about the Twin Sisters cheese
Yes.
Recall that we were just telling people about, viewers about just yesterday. Do you suspect, though, that there are more cases from that one, and what should people do if they do suspect that they are sick from that?
Yeah, so there's always other cases that happen that are not reported to the health department, that people don't seek medical care, which is good. But, you know, if you're an immune compromised person and you've ate some of the cheese and you're sick, especially if you're having bloody diarrhea or you're dehydrated, you know, seek medical attention right away. This particular kind of E. coli can cause acute kidney failure, which is obviously very concerning. You know, it kills, 5% of the people that it impacts. So it's nothing to be, shy about going to the doctor about. I think from what consumers can do, if they've purchased that product and they've had it in their refrigerator, it's, obviously throw it out, but also clean that area of the refrigerator where that cheese was, because there can be cross-contamination between contaminated product and something else in your refrigerator that you might consume uncooked.
Right, that's very good advice. And also, when it comes to the bigger picture, though, Bill, when you see changes at the CDC and the FDA, when you see those layoffs and et cetera, do you think that it's impacting different states in different ways, or the impact's not as significant as people are making out to be?
Yeah, I certainly don't want to politicize public health, because that's really been, unfortunately, what we've seen over the last year. The cuts to the CDC and the FDA and the USDA, are more than just devastating. They're cutting the history of incredible work that these people have done over the last 30 years that I've been involved in this kind of work, and it's going to take a long time to fix this problem. The illnesses are still happening. I mean, we're getting more calls from E. coli, salmonella, listeria, ill people, but they're not considered to be part of an outbreak because the federal government has sort of stopped investigating. And so one of the things that we're starting to see more and more of over the last few months is certain states are stepping up. Here we're seeing, even though FDA has jurisdiction over the the Two Sisters outbreak, because it's in Washington and Oregon, we're seeing Washington and Oregon step up and alert the public. I think that is probably what we're going to see. Hopefully more states do that. But I kind of unfortunately feel that it's going to be, a political decision, based on, the politics of the state.
Either way, it's really important that we think about food safety all the time. And of course, as you said, if people are sick, you need to report it so they can investigate. Bill Marler, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me on.
For full details on the Twin Sisters Creamery recall, just head to fox13seattle.com/links.